Oh yeah, this Sunday, Bayern Munich versus Borussia Dortmund. Hello, welcome people. What's going on? This is on MD8 and it is the Bundesliga match day 8 preview. Now, normally I always do Bayern Munich versus Borussia. Normally I'd always do the Bayern Munich matches first. Obviously, this channel is Bayern Munich centric. But because I've got so much to talk about, I've got too much to talk about Bayern Munich versus Borussia Dortmund. I'm gonna leave that to later. So I'm just gonna quickly. I'm not gonna go through like the other teams, the other matches that well. I'm just gonna go through like the score that I think is gonna happen, and then I'm gonna spend like good 10-15 minutes on Bayern Munich versus Borussia Dortmund. So I hope you guys got your drink ready, because this is gonna be quite a long video, but there's gonna be a lot to talk about because it is a big match. First versus second. It's going to be epic. So yeah, let's just quickly go through all the other matches. So Darmstadt versus Mainz, which is happening today. I think Mainz should win this match. I think they should win this match 2-1. I just think they're just better. That's it. That's all you need to know. They're just better. Borussia Mönchengladbach versus Wolfsburg. Both teams looked really good in the Champions League, and this is probably the biggest match besides obviously our match of this week. I would go for Wolfsburg just because they've got a better team, but Gladbach looked better on the weekday, and since Gladbach is playing at home, I'm gonna go for a draw just because I think Wolfsburg has a better team. Gladbach is I look better on the weekday, and I'm just going off like the weekday. I think that Gladbach and Wolfsburg are gonna draw. It's gonna be a high scoring draw, so it's gonna be a 2-2. Next up, Ingolstadt versus Frankfurt. Frankfurt have one guy called Meyer in the team, so that's what I think Frankfurt is going to win 2-0. Next up, Hannover versus Werder Bremen. Honestly, I think Werder Bremen is going to win. I just think they just look more solid in my opinion. So Werder Bremen is going to win that match 2-1. Next up, Hertha Berlin versus Hamburg. Now this is going to be a tough one because Hamburg actually look really good right now. I can't believe I'm saying that. Yeah, I actually can't believe that I'm saying that. But Hamburg actually look really good right now, and Hertha Berlin, they look okay, but not great, not good. They just look okay. But since Hertha Berlin is playing at home, that could make them look good. You know, from being okay to being good. So that could be like both teams could be equal. So I think that match is going to end up as a 1-1 draw. Next up, Hoffenheim versus Stuttgart. Stuttgart is going to win that match. Yes, I said it. I think Stuttgart is going to win that match 2-1. They're just a team that loves to shoot. They don't score, but they love to shoot. And I think against Hoffenheim, who aren't that great defensively, having a team that loves to shoot against a team that isn't good defensively spells trouble. And that's why Stuttgart will win this match 2-1. Next up on Sunday, Schalke versus Köln. Schalke should win this match. They looked really good on the weekday, and Højbjerg looked really good as well. Sané, he's in excellent form right now. Huntelaar, he is Huntelaar. You know, that's all you need to know. And you look at what's his name, Di Santo. He's actually getting into form right now. So they look really good. So I think they're gonna win that match 3-0. Yeah, 3-0. Next up, Bayer Leverkusen versus Augsburg. Leverkusen should win this match. You know, I think that Chicharito Hernandez will score a lot of goals because he obviously missed a couple of sitters against Barcelona. So I think today will be on Sunday will be the match where he's gonna be like, yo, I'm sorry guys, but I'm gonna come and I'm gonna score for you guys, man. I'm gonna do that, man. So that's what I think. Leverkusen will win this. And I saw Augsburg. I mean, they had like 30 shots, like literally they had 30 shots, and 16 of those were on target, and they still couldn't. They still couldn't finish. So what is going on? Augsburg has a they just can't finish basically, and Leverkusen, they will finish. So Leverkusen will win. I'm sorry, I'm just really sidetracked right now because there's like a random an ant, you know, like just flew out from like the top, and it's just like it's like a spider right now, but it's an ant, and I don't know where the ant came from, but it's just anyway, and then we get to the big match, Bayern Munich versus Borussia Dortmund. So we're playing at home, and this match is going to be very. Well, just give me 1 second. I know I'm sidetracking, but this is really distracting right now. I need a piece of paper. I don't have a piece of paper. Oh, actually I do. Right. Sorry about that, guys. But this is really distracting. An ant flying. This is actually legitimately awesome. Well, not anymore. It's dead. Anyway, I got a little bit sidetracked there. But Bayern Munich versus Borussia Dortmund. Now, going into this match, obviously, both teams are on one team is in excellent form, the other team is in good form. So we are in excellent form, although we mainly just showed that in one half, maybe two halves. The match against Dinamo Zagreb, we actually did that throughout the whole match, so that's a positive sign. And Borussia Dortmund, they've had a great start, but right now they've had like 3 draws in a row. One against PAOK from Greece, the other one against Darmstadt, and the one before that against a different team in Bundesliga. So they've had 3 draws in a row, and we've obviously had wins. We just had wins. Both teams in terms of quality are, Bayern obviously is the best team, for me at least, is the best team in terms of quality, whereas Dortmund, they are the second best team in the Bundesliga in terms of quality of the players. Now, players that we should look out for, I mean, there are a few that are obvious, such as Aubameyang, Royce, Mkhitaryan, Kagawa. These are like the front 4. Depending obviously how they play, I'm gonna go with Dortmund having a classical 4-2-3-1 system, and then obviously adjusting that through the match because that's how Tuchel plays. So you go with the back line. You go with the keeper for starters. You have Roman Bürki, who is a lot better than Roman Weidenfeller, but he still has a few moments. Like he still has a few moments. I've watched all the matches and I've seen that he isn't a world-class keeper. I mean, that was pretty obvious, but he isn't a world-class keeper. But he's still young, so he still has that 1-2 moments of lack of concentration. So we should exploit that, in my opinion. Next up, with their left back, they're going to use Schmelzer most likely, and he is very attacking, but defensively he can be caught out because he loves to go and attack and cross the ball. He's very good crossing the ball, but there's a lot of space behind him, and we should exploit that. So having someone like Costa, if he plays on the right, or having him go against Ginter when he's playing on the left, is going to be very good, because we've got Alonso who can switch the play instantly. So he's going to be key, Alonso. But continuing with Borussia Dortmund's lineup, obviously Schmelzer at left back. Then we have Hummels and Socrates as 2 centre backs, and as the right back, they're going to most likely have Ginter. Now, Ginter is the same as Schmelzer. Both of them are very attacking. They love to go forward and attack and cross the ball, and both very good crosses of the ball. Ginter has 3 assists. Schmelzer, I don't know how many assists he has. But having Costa on the wings is going to be dangerous for both of them, because he can just exploit them with pace. So Alonso being there is going to be key. Next up, I mean, you look at Hummels and you look at Socrates. And Socrates is basically the no-nonsense defender. He is Dortmund's best defender. Hummels is the more creative defender. Like, he's the one that likes to go forward. He likes to header the ball. He likes to create play, but he can be caught out. And that's how we exploited him last year when Hummels, he went forward and Lewandowski exploited that. Got the ball against him, won the ball, passed it to Müller. Müller passed it back to Lewandowski, and Lewandowski got the ball, passed it to Müller. Müller shot, the ball bounced, Lewandowski scored. So exploiting Hummels' his tendency to go forward is going to be Lewandowski's job, which I think he already knows that. He already knows that. So Socrates is going to be the main defender that we have to look out for, because he likes to stay back. He's a no-nonsense defender. The ball gets to him, he kicks it out. He doesn't care. That's basically the way you set up. So you have one player that is really creative, whereas the other defender is really defensive. And as a defender, for me, you need to be more defensive. Unless you're Boateng, you're both. Yeah, but that's the way it is. That's the defense. Then you get into the midfield. They're most likely going to play with Gundogan and Weigl. Yeah, but Gundogan, he is Gundogan. I mean, he is basically what you expect. But this season he looks really, really, really good. He is creative, he is defensive, he is destructive, and he is attacking. For me, probably the second best midfielder in the world. So, for his position, he's probably the second best midfielder in the world. So it's going to be dangerous. He's going to be very, very, very dangerous in my opinion. He's going to be the most difficult one to track, the most difficult one to break down. But next up, we have Weigl, who is just a secure passer of the ball. He's basically just sits back, pass the ball left, pass the ball right. That's his job, and he's also defensive. Then we obviously get into the front 4, and I don't think there needs to be much of an explanation. Aubameyang, his pace is frightening. His positioning is actually really good this year. You look at Royce. Royce right now, he hasn't been on form, but when he's in form, then he's the most dangerous. He's one of the most dangerous players in the league, in the world. Then you look at Kagawa and Mkhitaryan. Mkhitaryan this year, he looks absolutely fantastic. Kagawa, he is just, he's just very good in having little space, which they are gonna have. They won't have much space. They will have just little space, which Mkhitaryan is excellent in. So that's how Dortmund is going to set up. I think the way we're going to set up, I think we're going to go with a similar system. Just I think we're going to have more midfield. So we're going to have a 4-3-3. You look at a left back, Alaba, our two centre backs, Javi and Boateng, and then our right back, I think it's going to be Lam. Then our three midfielders, we're going to have Alonso in the middle, and we're going to have Thiago on the left and Lam on the right. I already mentioned Lam, haven't I? Yeah, we have Thiago on the left and Götze on the right, and our front three are going to be Lewandowski, Costa, and Müller, and that's how I think we're going to set up. Now we are going to try and basically defend. Not defend, but use the midfield to defend, to get the ball and then pass. With Dortmund attack, we have Alonso who can switch the play to Costa, to Müller, and then they can run and try and set it up for Lewandowski. That's basically the way it's going to set up, and it's going to be interesting because it's going to be a battle of how the coaches Tuchel and Pep develop their play develop their tactics within the play, and that's going to be the biggest. That's going to be the biggest factor for this game because each team wants to win. But we are at home. We are at better form. I think the Oktoberfest is going on right now. So we're the team that is really good during the Oktoberfest. So that's why I see us win. I do think that we need to be careful because Javi, he just came back. Yes, he played, he's played 2 matches now, but he's just come back. So having him against Aubameyang is going to be really dangerous because Aubameyang is going to burn him for pace. The only one that can really keep up is Boateng. So Boateng will be key in that match. Alaba, he's Alaba. Alaba you don't need to worry about. He's going to do his offensive job and he's going to help in the attack. But possible subs. Dortmund, I think 3 subs that they could possibly bring in, depending obviously on the situation. If they're behind, they can bring in Ramos. If they need another midfielder, they've got the likes of Castro, they've got the likes of, to an extent, Bender, and they've got players to bring in. So it's not like they don't have players to bring in. And if they need someone in the defense, they can bring in. That's a difficult one because I don't think Piszczek is ready. He's not really fit, but he can switch Bender and then put Piszczek in if they need someone that is much more defensive. And it's like they can just adjust. That's the thing about Dortmund right this season. They adjust more, and they're not just all about countering. They're also all about keeping the possession. So they're basically a Swiss Army knife. They don't have one use. They have multiple uses. But we have Pep Guardiola, and Pep Guardiola, he switches his tactics instantly. Like it's in the first minute you're gonna see him switch his tactics. So he's gonna. If he sees that Dortmund is trying to play in a certain way, he's gonna adjust to that. It's going to be interesting. That's all I can say. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be a battle of 2 tacticians. So, it's not going to be like it used to be where it's like one tactician versus one motivator. This time it's going to be a battle between 2 tacticians. And it's going to be the most interesting battle, tactically. Like, this is not going to be, for me, obviously the match itself is going to be very important. But obviously I'm going to record that match. And the second time I'm going to go through it, I just want to see like how the coaches adjust their tactics. Because that's going to be really important to me. Really interesting to me, but looking out for Lewandowski. Lewandowski, as mentioned, he needs to drag Hummels out. He needs to let Hummels have the ball, and then we need to basically press Hummels, get the ball off him, so we can exploit that. Müller, he hasn't been great in the last 2 matches or so, but so he's gonna have an important match. Obviously, if he doesn't do too well, we can always bring in Coleman. We can always bring in Götze. We've got players to bring in. We can always bring in. We've got too many players to bring in. Obviously, I said that Thiago and Götze are gonna play. Maybe one of them won't play. Maybe Vidal will come in. I don't know if he's fit yet. We still have Robin, who might be able to come in. I'm gonna say might. I'm not too sure. So we have players to bring in, and we can adjust. We can adjust the system to depending on our plays. We can even have Alaba in midfield, Bernat play. We have all these kind of players that are able to come in and change the game. So overall, in terms of quality and in terms of obviously we have the home advantage, I think we're gonna win. But Dortmund shouldn't be underestimated. I think it's gonna be a very close match, but I see it ending as a 2-1. Yeah, there was another fly. But this time it was actually a fly, not a thing. I don't know where it come from. But anyway, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a 2-1 in my opinion. We're going to win 2-1. Lewandowski is going to score the first goal. And Costa is going to score the second goal. That's what I think. Vidal and Costa. And for Dortmund, the goal scorer is going to be Aubameyang. He's going to continue his streak. He's going to continue his record. Scoring most Bundesliga goals in a row. and that's just the way it is. 2-1. What do you guys think? Tell me in the comment section down below. As always, rate, comment, favorite, and subscribe. This was Mia's and Mia TV, and yes, the classica, the quote unquote. I hate that word so much. The quote unquote classica. I hate that people keep trying to basically make a name out of the El Clasico and call it their Classica, because I think that's just stupid. It's like calling the German national team Die Mannschaft. It's like nobody calls it that. Everyone calls it Die Nationalelf or whatever, but nobody calls it Die Mannschaft, or not many people. But you're trying to market it, but it's going to be an interesting match. It's going to be a very important match for us, because if we lose, then Dortmund will be closer to us. If it's a draw, then the difference between us is not going to be that much anymore, and if we win, then the difference is going to be a lot bigger. Now, obviously, I want us to win. That's obviously a no-brainer. Like I said, I think we're going to win 2-1. But do I, on a whole season perspective, do I think that we should, do I think it would benefit us if you lose? Yes, I really do. If we lose tomorrow, if we lose on Sunday, I think that would benefit us throughout the whole season, because the closer the Bundesliga is, the more we're going to be concentrating on that, and the more we're going to be able to keep up our level of play, even in the Champions League when it gets to the most important stages. But I don't want to lose that match. This is the one match I don't want to lose. I don't mind losing any other match, I'll be honest here. But this is the one match where I don't want to lose. This and possibly Wolfsburg. These are the two matches that I possibly want to lose, that I possibly don't want to lose. But this one especially. This one match is going to be basically this match is basically going to decide how the end of our season is going to go, in my opinion. This and the return match are going to decide the rest of the season, in my opinion. And so I wouldn't be too mad if we lose, because it's gonna help us in the long run in the Champions League and whatnot. Because then by the end of the season we won't win the Bundesliga 5 match days before the end of the season. But I don't want to lose this match, and that's all I can say. I don't want to lose this match, so I hope we win 2-1. But as always, people, rate, comment, favorite, and subscribe. Peace out, and have a nice day. It's on a Sunday. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, peace out. Bye.